Welcome back. We're going to work on the tunnel book. And so you should have your handout and some different sheets. Handout is taken from Alyssa Golden's book. And I just wanted to show you some different variations, but it is comprised of some very simple elements that we've already worked with. So we've got an accordion, we've got a back panel, a window, and various elements that can be suspended throughout. So I'm just going to take you through, and I've got some one that has a stronger image base to it, so you can see the multiple layers. Creates somewhat similar to a shadow box. Let's get started. So you should have 2 green sheets, a couple of orange sheets, and then also a pink sheet. Now you'll notice that the orange sheets are a little bit thinner. They're a text weight paper, and I'd like to make our accordions with each of those. As a reminder, we're going to do an 8-panel accordion, and so I'm going to show you the way to do this without having to reverse or fold. So I'm going to take this, fold it in half, open it up, take one of the loose ends and line it up towards the center fold that we just created. And repeat this for the other side. You can take one of those loose ends and line that up with one of the folds that you just made. Turn it around and do the same thing for the other side. And you can flip it over and take one of those sections and line it up towards that center first fold that we had created. That'll give us an even 8-panel accordion. And do the same thing for the other sheet. Once we have both accordions done, the one thing I did enjoy in the handout is that you can actually create some tabs that exist off of these accordions instead of adding something else. And so the simplest way to do that is to figure out which plane you want to work on. And they had it where you're just doing a semicircle. And I'm going to do the mirror image for that, for the other side, because that's the one thing is you want to make sure that they do line up from side to side. So we'll be eventually joining that. I have those 2 components ready. The one sheet is going to be used for the backing, so I can leave that one solid. This other one, I'm going to create a window frame. I'm just handling this fairly organically. Release that material so I have something to work with. Then I'm going to use this pink sheet just to create some additional forms that might create some windows to see through. And see that will open this up a little bit. So now we are actually ready to construct this. And the easiest way to go about this is to glue these hinged elements either onto the back or onto the front. I'm going to do it on the back so it doesn't show up as directly. Grab my glue stick. And for this, I want to make sure that the loose end is going to be wrapping around to the back side. So I can just put some of my adhesive on there from my glue stick. Line that up like so. And I'm going to do the opposite for the other side. Just make sure that those notches line up. They're mirrored from one side to the next. So we have our back piece. Now from here, because this is going to rest on the inside, If we were to place this on one of these panels, it will restrict the flow, as you can see with this one. You can see how that's joined right there. That keeps it from opening up all the way. By having these little tabs, it'll make it so it does want to open up. And so what I'm going to do is just put a little adhesive on there. Along there. And a little adhesive on this tab as well. See how that's going to exist on there. I am going to carefully fold this down so it stays closed. And then what I can do is glue my window on top. I'm just going to glue one side at a time. You can see you've got your tunnel book. Now, certainly you could add many more layers to this if you so desire. You can be very strategic with your cutouts to form some sort of physical narrative on there. Another thing to think about is that you can use hard covers. One of the examples that I showed to you too were made out of wood and then used book cloth as hinges to form the accordion. So be creative and have fun.